In this video I'm going to lose embarrassingly. Even though it was a risk, I thought I will still make it. But, well, no spoilers, you're going to see everything by yourself at the end of the video. South America is the continent I have the most troops in, so I think it will be a continent I go for. Well, the blue player has just moved into it. I had twice as troops into it than him. So I think it makes much more sense for me to go for it rather than him, so this is why I moved in my troops from North America to South America, while the blue player could just go for Africa, which is already almost captured by him. There were already more other player troops in South America than Africa, so I don't really know why the blue player decided to move to it at the first place. But now it seems we will be good. I sent an alliance request to him which he accepted, and at the same time moved his troops from South America. And that's really appreciated. So even if I am able to invade him into Africa, I think I will let him hold it. And instead of that, focus on another person, probably the one who is going to go for the biggest continent, who probably will be yellow. As obviously in the 4-player game it's the most reasonable to focus on the player who goes for the biggest continent, but either way the player's goal should be to get rid of one of the players as soon as possible, so the game wouldn't turn out into a very boring stalemate. The blue and orange players are already my allies, so everything looking from a bunch of different perspectives still leads of me focusing on the yellow player either way. Or I mean, if the orange player wants, we could target both of them, as well as yellow as well as blue. But since he isn't showing the initiative, I will stick to my plan to focus on yellow. As who knows, maybe the blue player will be that my best ally who agrees to team up with me on someone. My main goal is to get rid of one of the players as soon as possible, so at the same time I'm not only be guaranteed to not get the last place, but the game wouldn't be such a stalemate as well. And it seems the blue player is willing to team up on yellow. I told him to attack yellow, so he captured a bunch of territories of him. Then I cleared out the rest yellow's territories from Europe and kept my army next to North American border, so I would be able to invade yellow in case he captures North America this turn. So after a few turns being passed, I formed a conception that the blue player would be the one who would be the most valuable to be kept alive. He is willing to team up with me or attack a lot other players in general, when the orange player just captures a territory per turn to get a card while turtling in Australia, and since we are not bordering each other, the alliance is pretty much meaningless for us since we are not doing anything together at all. And talking about yellow, he wants to capture the biggest continent of us all, the one which would give even 5 troops for him. So all in all the blue player is the most valuable player for me. The orange player is pretty much useless but at the same time not a threat for me at all, and the yellow player could potentially become a threat or at least a very strong opponent if he successfully captures and holds North America. The orange player has just told me to attack blue, but blue is obviously my ally, so I'm not going to attack him first by myself, so I told orange to attack yellow who I know I'm going to attack too. But if the orange player wants me to attack blue, then he firstly has to show the initiative by himself, as I could invade blue making him mad just for the orange player to continue turtling in Australia and not attacking blue at all, so I don't want to risk it. Especially when I see that blue continues crushing orange anyways, so if they're both enemies, then it's better for me to get rid of yellow who is neutral for all of us. At this moment I was really thinking of taking orange out for 5 cards, but due to the reasons I have just mentioned, I decided not to. I mean, if blue and orange don't like each other, then I will let them fight. As I know that after taking orange, nobody would attack blue, so for that reason it's better to keep orange alive when potentially try eliminating yellow. As otherwise I would have to start attacking blue by myself. At this point I'm really looking forward to take out yellow, so let's hope he doesn't have a set and additionally makes a mistake by connecting his biggest army with his other territories since I ended up blocked from him. And yes, do it yellow. Well, the yellow player is smart to keep his army blocked from me. The orange player has just sent me an attack request to attack the blue player, but I think it's obvious that he wants to manipulate me so I and blue from the best allies would become the biggest enemies, as if not, Then why did he never invade blue into his unguarded Africa? Well, now he could be afraid to unleash blue's biggest army, but he never invaded blue when blue wasn't as strong either. Anyways, let's just take the yellow player out. He is very weak, so I might even regain the troops I lost from the cards. I feel kinda bad for the yellow player, but oh well, someone has to lose first. Anyways, looking at the troops comparison, I had 47 troops in total before taking yellow out, and now have 45, so I only ended up of losing 2 troops, and that's good. Also, I've got 1 extra card and got rid of the additional opponent who is not really needed in the game in order for the balance of the game to be sustained. And that's great also. So now I just don't really like the fact that the blue player is capturing so many territories, including a lot of mine too. So even with only holding Africa, he still gets a bunch of troops without having any other additional continent at all, because of the territorial bonus. As the more territories you have, the bigger amount of troops you get. You start getting 1 extra troop from 12 territories, and then for every 3 territories you get 1 extra troop too. Anyways, since blue's army was unleashed, let's see if he makes a mistake of trying to take the orange player out. It seems he went of capturing as many territories as possible once again, but it's not bad either, because with his biggest army being blocked once again, I could possibly capture and properly hold North America, at the same time fulfilling the orange player's biggest wish to attack blue, because either way it would be just stupid to let blue hold North America, so he would become the strongest player. So now I just hope that the orange player doesn't betray me by attacking me into North America. Well, he didn't do that by himself, but he really threw me under the bus by unleashing blue's biggest army while not even invading blue into Africa, so the blue player would be able to successfully attack me into North America. And that's smart, but like I said, it's clear that he doesn't take the alliances too seriously and will try to manipulate or even attack me if needed. But that's right, guys. It would be stupid to not attack the player who holds both of the Americas when you and another player only have Australia and Africa. So even if that strongest person is your ally, you shouldn't give away the game to him so easily. So the orange player made a great decision by throwing me under the bus. After trading in a set at this point of the game, I was wondering whether I should go for blue by only having 13 troops less than both of my opponents combined, so I would have gotten an attacker advantage blitzing blue's 12 troops army and then gained some troops by trading in a set from the blue player's cards. But as you can see at the end, I just decided to recapture North America, especially after seeing that half of my time has already passed. And oh well guys, the orange player invades me into North America. It should have been pretty much expected, but I thought that he might potentially want for the blue player to do all the dirty work by himself again. I didn't expect the blue player to not have a set at 4 cards though, so this is why I didn't invade him into Africa. I thought that he will have a set, and after trading it in, that will be an equal situation between us again. So I didn't want that he would have considered taking my South American troops down. At this point of the game I noticed that I have a potential opportunity to win again by only having 10 troops less than both of my opponents combined, so I decided to go for the blue player who even has 5 cards. He had 35 troops in total, and obviously I was taking into account only my army troops, which were 24 plus 15 since you leave 1 troop on your territory. So all in all I saw that I have 4 troops advantage when it comes to taking the blue player out, and plus that I am as an attacker was supposed to get a good blitz roll crushing blue's 9 troops. But actually I lost even 1 troop more. Like, look at this painful blitz roll guys. So at this point I realized that I will fail taking the blue player out. I took not a small risk, so now I have to lose, very embarrassingly. Also, when I didn't take into the account that when my armies have become small, even if getting a good blitz roll crushing 9 blue's troops, it would have been still hard finishing blue off with them. So anyways, as you can see at the end I have to shamefully lose. To go for the blue player was a bad choice. But what do you think? Should I have gone for the orange player instead? Theoretically I would have had 5 troop advantage against him. Since I would have need to capture even 8 territories of blue when getting both of my armies next to him, and then with the smaller one I would have manual rolled him as much as possible, and then blitzed him with the bigger army. So after reviewing this game, I think it would have been a better decision to go for the orange player rather than blue. But even with successfully taking the orange player out, another question comes down. How good my chances would have been to fight the blue player in the endgame? As let's remember, he even had 5 cards, so that's another thing to consider. But after taking orange out, I would have traded in a set and captured as many of his territories as possible. But would it have been enough to get better odds in the endgame against him? I don't really know, to be honest. So what do you think, guys? Maybe after all, the best decision would have been to not try taking any of these players out at all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, then I would recommend checking some of these out as well. Watching more videos will help you to progress so much faster. Highly increase your skills by simply watching Risk videos.